Professor Nebo once said that if there is any part of the world that you go and you don't see an Igbo man or Igbo woman, either single or with their family, it means that there is no progress in that community. You will know that there is no progress in that community. It shows that that place is dark, and maybe you should find your way home. With this, I want to say that it's a great honor to be here. The Igbo gathering is a place you feel at home. I feel at home here. I mean, since we came back, apart from the reception we had in the by the Igbo people in the Silicon Valley, I think this is the first I'm having again, not even from family. So it's a great pleasure to be here. It is high time that we think about passing on the baton to the next generation. This gathering is about passing on the baton, the next generation. How do we take the next generation, the younger generation, to the next level? How do we groom our own to grow and make exploits like we have done? I think this is what Nkata wants to achieve. And it's high time we make an intentional decision about mentoring, mentorship, and how to effectively impact. My name is UCHENNA ONWUAMAEGBU-UGWU, and I am Igbo. I was born here and raised here in Enugu. Enugu has significantly shaped my life to what it is now, and I owe a lot to this town. It brings back, coming into this town brings back lots of memories that I am grateful for. I am glad you invited me. Since I was told I'm going to be here, I think I am more nervous than any other thing I've achieved. So I'm glad I'm here with my people. I want to talk a little bit about what I do. Like she said, I am a graduate of NHAZI University. Read psychology, and I moved on. I found myself becoming an inspiration to younger people through my organization, Edufund Technique. At Edufund Technique, what we do is to bring in hands-on STEM education for younger children between the age of 18 and 21, to bridge the gap of skills that we don't normally have or get in school, to inspire our younger generation to greatness, to make the right career decision, to raise them right, to become leaders of tomorrow. That's what we do at Edufund. Today we are here. I'm here to talk about how we can use mentorship to achieve greatness amongst our children and youths, how mentorship can change the narratives of our youth to greatness. How mentorship that we have neglected so much can make a difference in our lives and this community. Mentorship, to my understanding, is a means or a system where a much more older person, not necessarily older, but older person or person who has much experience in skills and life skills, different types of skills, advanced person in age, knowledge or skill helps to guide a less experienced person or less knowledgeable persons in area of expertise, bridging the gap between the source of knowledge, thereby making the journey easy for the mentee. What do you know? Transferring it to a less knowledgeable person and helping the person to advance. Bridging that gap, you know, what you've learned for 10 years and you want to step it down, it helps the person growing up to grow faster, learn faster, achieve more, and also understand that they have to step it down. That is what I think makes a society great. I'm going to give examples of how doctors or how professionals can do that. But it's easy. Most times we think mentorship is not easy. I would say that our journey to Silicon Valley was inspired by mentorship. In 2017, I, among 200 leaders in Nigeria, were selected to go for the US government scholarship program called the Mandela Washington Fellowship. In Anambra, we were only 2 that was chosen. And this application was pulled out of 21,000 applicants. And we were just 100 selected. Getting to the US, I found out that everything I've aspired or had ever thought of is reality. Because things become easy there because they take mentorship serious. They take community service serious. Whatever you are, you have something to give back. Giving back means everything to them. And they know it's just a way, simply a way to retain greatness in their community. I learned that, despite that I know it before, and I've already started doing that because my mentorship program was the one that earned me that award. When I came back, the very first month I came back, I have been going to schools, preaching about STEM education, preaching about technology and how it could help our children. But it's very difficult. It's very difficult to change the mindset of the schools. It's very difficult to change the mindset of individuals, even parents. So most times in my frustration, because I know that no matter how much you say no to me, I'll continue saying yes. I need you to understand that STEM is the way. So to ease my frustration most times, I go to the school and ask them, please, can I even teach it for free? Let me just teach. I'm not expecting anything. I want the children to have that experience. And that was one of the visits I made to Regina, Pacis, because I've asked them for 2 years to let me do this in their school. But that day I came, I told the principal around, please, can you allow me to teach this? Let me teach them web design for 2 weeks. That is going to change a lot. And he said, yes, you can, as long as it's for free. I said, okay. So I called my team, and we went. I'm still talking about mentorship. And we started this program. After about a month, I got this opportunity of the Technovation program that took us to US. I felt so excited when I saw the curriculum. It is absolutely an opposite of what we teach in school. Absolutely opposite. But we took up the curriculum, we went back to the same school, and I said, I brought another one. Can we still do it for free? And he said, yes, why not? You can go ahead with the children you did it with. Of course. I continued. And we started our journey to Silicon Valley. I knew that there was a prize at the end. If you get to this position, you can go to Silicon Valley. I knew that these things were there. But the first day I met these children, I told them, forget about going to Silicon Valley. Let's focus on the curriculum. You never can tell the ideas you will get by developing a mobile app, by learning business plan, that these skills you're about to learn, even when I've started my business, I have no idea that those skills exist. I was just doing it because I need to do business. But if you at the secondary school level understand this business right now, that the sky is going to be your limit. So we started. At every point of our journey, it was winning for us. It was winning. And we started, and we got to that point. And there are times when I have to be in school and leave that school by 7 p.m. There are times my children will be in the office waiting for me because I've cooked the night food. I know we are not going to go home early. Those sacrifices was winning for me because I was happy I was impacting. Until we got to the point we went to Abuja for the regional competition. I'll continue that story because that's why we are here. But let's think about this. Let's go back to STEM education. STEM education simply means, I'm going to define it in a way we will understand. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It's not new. We've heard about all these things. But in STEM education, it brings this together, tries to teach a different method of learning that it will help you to become a problem solver. Understanding technology, hands-on education that promotes paying attention to details, that promotes research methodology, that promotes communication skills. These skills, they don't teach it in school. Have you ever heard where they teach communication skills in school? Huh? They don't. So, but STEM education, depending on the focus you are giving it, whether it is robotics, whether it is coding, whether it is the technical aspect, whatever it is, helps the children to gain life skills for tomorrow. If you don't learn anything, you will learn how to use technology and how to equip yourself for tomorrow's workforce. That is what STEM education means to me. And I know that we don't have it. I will share the journey, how it started, but let's finish with STEM education. In STEM education, mentorship is born, collaboration, problem solving. I've said that. Inspiration, children get inspired. They get inspired, they get to think of who they are, they get to think of what they want to be, they become more innovative. They start thinking of how to create solutions. They see problems and they find answers. They learn how to be independent. We know what is wrong with our youth today. Because most people want people to solve their problem. They did not have the skills. But this education gives children hope and brings them to that level. We all know that the school education system, we all know, we are not going to shy away from that, that is becoming obsolete. In fact, last week I was going through my books because my mom was a teacher. She just retired last year. And she keeps everything. She keeps my hospital card. She keeps my immunization card. That's how many, 35 years ago. She kept everything. And I was going through my results. And I saw my nursery school results. I wanted to compare it with what they are teaching now. It's the same. Even when a lot has changed, it's still the same. And the world is moving faster, faster. I am standing here, and people in Lagos or any other place will tell every other person what I've said, even before I leave this podium. That's technology, right? The whole world is here, even when I'm here in Enugu. And yet, we are still doing the same thing we did 35 years ago. So, but what is our society doing about it? What is our society doing to change this narrative? What are we doing? What are we going to do? That's why when I started this journey, I started my STEM journey out of, how will I say it? Out of the fear of the unknown and the passion to, give my children a chance because they are not aware. One of my trips for an educational fair, I wanted to connect schools in Nigeria abroad so they can bring children from here to their schools and learn things together as they do the educational tour. But I went to Dubai at that point, and I found out that they have a conference, educational conference, through the Ministry of Education in Dubai. And I thought I'm going to see a lot of schools because they advised me I'm going to make networks and connect. On getting to that exhibition, I saw, on getting to the conference, I now saw that different educational sectors are exhibiting their products. So, in surprise, I saw a lot of things. I saw electronics, I saw toys, machines, robots, different things in electronics. And the most surprising thing is that I saw children operating on those machines. That was it for me. I felt so confused. And I was wondering, how could these children be working on this? This is not real. This is only on the movie that you can see these things. Then I looked by the side. I saw a big Lego stand. Do we know what Lego is? Do we know? Okay, at that point, that's my adult life, I don't know what Lego is. I see it as a building block. I just see the building, but I saw Lego education. So I went to the Lego stand. I asked the man there, please, can you help? What is Lego education? Is this not supposed to be a building block? What does it mean? And the young man looked at me with like, who is this girl? His show was like, who are you? And I said, and he asked me, don't you know what Lego is? I said, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. What is Lego? What does it have to do with education? I was clueless. I don't know. And expecting that he's going to answer me, he looked at me one more time and he walked away in front of everybody. And that was when I knew that something is wrong. University graduates, mother of two at that time, and I don't understand what has just happened. So I left the place. I felt so bad, but I didn't feel bad because I need to ask questions. And I went to Google and asked Google, please, what is Lego? And Google helped me and explained. I was jittering. I went to sit down, and I was wondering, if me at that my old adult age has never experienced what the impact of this could do in my life or in the life of anybody around me at that time, it means that something is wrong. I went to another vendor, and I asked him again, what they are doing, what does it mean? And he explained to me what Google has already told me. I felt bad. I asked him if they are in Nigeria, if he knows where Nigeria is. He said yes. He said, is in Africa. I said yes. Okay. Has your product ever come to Nigeria? He said, no. I asked him, how old is this product? He said, well, like 60 years. I said, in the whole 60 years, you've never considered the African market. He said, well, I'm not sure it's going to be okay and everything. And the next thing I told him, you know what? I'm bringing this to my community. That was what I said. I'm bringing this to my community. And after 6 months, I started training with them. Immediately I came back to Nigeria. They trained me. They told me what to do. They gave me all the things I could do, even though they know I don't even have the money to buy their materials. Until I got some money and I started, after persisting, because I persisted for over 8 months. And when they stopped answering my call, I started calling them by 8 a.m. in the morning, so that immediately they enter their office, the phone will ring. I did that constantly for 3 months, and they just gave me whatever I wanted. And that was the birth of my STEM love and my STEM program. And I said I'm going to take it to the community. So, in the journey, our organization understood the gap. We know practically what is happening. We know that we need to make a change because we know that STEM is very, very essential. It is not negotiable. You can't negotiate it. No matter what you say to cover it up, you can't negotiate it. People that are aware. They are giving their children and exposing their children to different things. And people are still not aware. But this time around, it has to be a must. It's not a matter of you like it or you don't like it. For some parents that absolutely doesn't understand what we're saying. Except you don't want your child or your family or your sister to be part of the future. Even you, except you don't want to be part of the future. Because I know that our grandmothers now has WhatsApp. They have. Even if they cannot operate it, you will give the caregiver to say, take. And whatever happens, you tell them to know, to use it or tell them to get information from there. So as we want to be part of the future, we also should be ready to get ready for the future realities and the future language. The language of the future is the coding language. And in this language, you can learn it here in Onitsha or Anambra and speak it all over the world. But we need to be ready for that. We also know that the future of work is changing. Some of the works we have today is going to become obsolete tomorrow. Do we agree? We may not see them tomorrow. But how ready are we? How ready are we? I'm seeing young children coming in, and this is making me happy. How ready are we to change the narrative? How ready are you to be part of the future? What are you going to do? How do we make our kids relevant? For example, a parent that I was trying to tell about our program and the club in school now said to me, you know what? My husband is already an engineer. I don't want my child close to that place at all. He doesn't have time for me. He's always busy at work, and I don't want my child to be an engineer. I smiled because I know I have more work to do. And the work is not to get the child right now, it's to get the parents. If I can get the parents to understand, I win. And that was what bettered also my parents' mentorship program, to also help them understand where the future is going. Especially when we came back from the US, every parent became interested. And I now have to let them know that it's not about the US, it's about now and the future. It's about getting your child ready. And yes, they may not be able to go to US and win gold medals, but they can become champions from here. So we have to keep ourselves relevant. We have to adopt the spirit of mentorship in different areas, both professionally, educationally, emotionally, mentally. We need to mentor each other. In all aspects of life, we have to do that. But the question is, after reading all these things, after saying all these things, it sounds very sweet. What is the way forward? What do we do? Where do we go from here? We already know the answer, and we've also adopted the method. Number one is going through the school system and changing the school system. But you know it's very difficult, right? It's just like me going to the government to tell them we need to change the policy of education. It's very difficult. And even if it will happen, through the help of anybody or every other person fighting for this purpose, because I know I'm not the only one. Even if it will happen, we don't have to wait till it happens. We have devised a means to conquer that through our STEM approach. Through this method we've tried and see it working, through STEM mentorship. So the second aspect is going through what I call the main market approach, or the Igbo incubation approach. We know that this method has also been published in Harvard Business Journal. And this is one of the most powerful aspects of mentorship. If you read about it, we all know about how we transfer knowledge and experience through going for apprenticeship. So you take someone at the age of 15, they learn trade, they stay with you, they learn the tricks, they learn everything, and after 5 to 10 years, you have to settle them. There is no amount of school that a child will go that will help that child. There is no amount. For 15 years, this person has learned a lot of things. But I decided to put that approach in my STEM program. Since the children have to go to school, we don't have an option to bring it to the classroom. So we take it to the classroom through curriculum-based, after-school-based, workshop-based, so that they get a chance to learn the practical aspects of what they have learned in school. They get a chance to be innovative. They get a chance to looking forward to leaving school and becoming innovators and change makers. They get a chance to learn those things. And when this happens, learning is transferred automatically to this child. So in schools, we have the STEM club, the robotics club. We have, this club teaches a lot of things. We just started a new curriculum on artificial intelligence for young children. And when people ask me, why do you think that a child in primary school or secondary school should be thinking about this? By the time they get to 10 years and they don't know this language, they are lost. They are lost. And yes, I am intentional. I am intentional because I know this is going to yield results. And you sitting here as a parent, as a grandma, as an uncle, you have, look behind you, beside you at home, you have a generation that needs this education, that needs to be mentored, and it should be trending. You should be worried if the school is not doing anything. So, by the time tomorrow comes, we are ready. By the time the preparation starts now and tomorrow comes, our children, our community are ready. Because we give them the chance to speak one language that will be understood everywhere. So, if your school is not doing anything, shake the tables and ask them. The children gain so much confidence right now when they start learning this method of education and when they start getting mentored. If you equip your child this way, there is absolutely nothing they cannot do. There is absolutely nothing. For me to continue with our story to Silicon Valley, I will simply say this. Your children, your child, your family member could be the next thing in Nigeria. Maybe not through me, but through what they have learned, but through the opportunities you have given them. So, because of learning through this method, because of giving them the opportunity, we are qualified to go to Abuja. We are qualified to go to Abuja to train. for regional pitch. And when we went to Abuja, we also won. I went with 2 teams, and these 2 teams, remember, we are coming from Onitsha. And whenever you are coming from Onitsha, you are like a sorry case. People like say, hey, yeah, hey, Ezioku, Onitsha Keno, sorry. Or the Kwamma, or it is sure, it is sure. You know, this is what we always get. Even yesterday, I saw someone wrote on Twitter, this is the first time I'm hearing someone say that they live in Onitsha. I mean, why wouldn't I say I live in Onitsha? Of course, Onitsha is just the same air that we breathe. I don't know. So I don't know why they are worried about us. But the 2 teams that came from Onitsha to Abuja won. And from that 2 teams, we qualified to go to Silicon Valley. And the qualification was judged based on all the countries. About 222 apps were judged online. So we don't even know the judge, and we won to go to Silicon Valley. When we got to Silicon Valley, now I'm going to make it snappy because I have a time here. But if you don't want me to keep to this time and I want to stop, please raise your hand. So, you see, they don't want. So, when we got to Silicon Valley, for me alone, getting to Silicon Valley was a winning for us again. I don't even know what they are saying. Taking these children to Lagos, even going to Abuja was winning. Because all of them has not left Anambra before. So Abuja was a win. And you know one significant thing that happened in Abuja? The man we stayed in his house, the day we were going, he said he's going to take us to Aso Rock. And we were so excited. You know what it means to go to Aso Rock? So when we got there, the security men stopped us and said, we don't have appointments, we can't go, protocol. And we understood. And one of the girls wanted to cry. And he said, we will come back and we will go to this Aso Rock. She declared that. And we left, we just turned around. But the fact that we've entered that gate means a lot to us. We turned back. And when she said that, we have not even qualified to go to Silicon Valley. We didn't even know. So we qualified. When we qualified, it was a joyous thing. And we went to Silicon Valley. I will tell you my prayers at the end of this talk, what I said in Silicon Valley. It was overwhelming for me, for the children, for everything. We had series of questions they were asking me, how does the plane look like? How does, how do someone, from that kind of question, you see that it is pure from their hearts. But I told them, we are going as winners already. And we went to Silicon Valley, we met everybody. The only thing I told them is this: they may be fair, that's how God created them, but it doesn't mean that there is any difference between both of you. And you know that where you are coming from. And then you are not regarded as anything, but you have to make sure that, first of all, build your confidence. The only thing I did for them in Silicon Valley was confidence. I forgot about the app, but I want them not to be afraid of who they are. And we did our pitching. And people came all over just to see them. And eventually, we won. We won. It was amazing. Amazing. Winning in Silicon Valley brought a lot of light to my work. Last year, the reigning thing in Nigeria was STEM. And it was enough for me. It was enough that people actually wanted to know what we did and what will happen. But when we came back, I did another prayer again, and I said, there are only 5. And we won gold. I am looking forward to millions of children and girls in Nigeria. I cannot stop at 5. And that was why it wasn't like anything to me. I came back, went to my friend's house in Abuja, and he came out to the house and said, are you alone? I said, yes, I'm alone. He said, why are you alone? That the way you reigned, you should have escort. I said, what, for 5? Just 5 girls. What of when we get to 100,000? There is so much work to do to be distracted. I refuse to be distracted. At the end of the day, I told myself, if I can be used to get 5, I need help. People in diaspora, people here, we should also come together and make this happen for our children. Because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, they are our children. We are connected one way or the other. We are Igbos. And we don't have only 5 girls. We have many girls in this community. So, STEM winning has brought a lot of light, and we encourage us to start the spirit of mentorship in everything. Everyone in this room has a role to play. You have a role to inspire your children and your community, because it is said that whether nke ezigbo or nke ajọ enweghị ga na-ele ya n'ọnụ. But let us start agbala nke bụ mma, nke dị mma. Let us emulate us in the right thing. Let us inspire them to do the right thing. We have many children, but are we role models to them? Are we preaching mentorship? So because this time is going off, and I have a lot to say, because I didn't know I'm going to get a short time like this, let me just quicken up. Nkata was meant for adults to gather and think of how to progress our community. How can we replicate such thing for children? How can we? For children, the only thing you see children where they gather is what? Birthday. And in birthday, that is where you see these children are talented. If you see the dance, they are dancing. How can we have carnivals that will promote children's education? We can create that resources. Apart from the wealth or material resources that are needed, we have intellectual resources all over the Igbo land. We can create a community where they say, once in a year, bring your children from this place and that place. They come together. We don't even need to go and borrow people. Our doctors, our artists, our pharmacists, our lawyers, our engineers, our farmers, come together and say, this is our children's carnival. This is the place we need to plant the seed that we need to germinate into great things, into great exploits. I'm using this medium to plead this, that we should put this into consideration. We need our children to grow. We also need to start planting that seed now. We need to plant that seed now. So this should be a call to action when our children should be, the seed of greatness should be planted, and they should also grow to that experts, to be experts. Then let me go away from children a little bit and go to community mentorship. In your community, what have you done to pass on the baton? I know that we have problems when they say the youths are lazy and the youth doesn't want to do that. But you as an adult that has the experience, what have you done? Some people, wealthy, rich Igbo people go home and give the youth 20 million. And they will be fighting to share that money. And some will even start planning evil thing of how to kidnap you and get more. My advice, plan community business mentorship workshop. If you are coming back, buy books for the youth. It's not all of them that will accept. Buy books, business book. Out of 10, 1 at least will come back and tell you, I've learned this. If somebody come and ask you for money, Uncle Biko, businessman, any 100,000, 200, send that person to business development workshop. When he comes back with what he has learned, give him money. He will do well. And he will do that back. When you come back for Christmas, pay for at least 50 youths that are ready to learn. Go to school, talk to them. Because there is no time, I might not even talk about what men are doing to create greatness, because we are, even to our own children, they don't sit down to talk to their boys about what life is. The boys are now pushed away to go and figure it out. We are boys. And why I am a girl champion, championing the girls to greatness, the men are getting rotten. And I don't know how you can mix this together in future. Those that you mentored and those that we are never mentored. Ask yourself, as a man sitting here, have you ever talked to your boy about puberty? No. Because I've done that survey in secondary school. None of them has ever heard or their father called them and said, "Nna otua, otua." The only thing you're gonna know is warning, warning. You will go to prison. Akama drop ya, akama drop ya. What have you done for that boy? Go to our prisons today. I'm still on mentorship. Go to our prisons. 98% are men. Why? Why? I pleasing. Okay. They lavish there because we did not even start our mentorship at home. My efforts men are youth. And because you want the youth to hail you and leave you alone, you come 20 million, 10 million, can and the youth and to gafa. But then we have not sown a seed. If you sow a seed in these youths, at least 5 will wake up and tell them, don't come and say thank you. Go and replicate it. I want to see what you have done. In the village, you will not have touts. These are practical things that we should do. All the very simple. Very, very simple. It is vital. Because women, at least, for the fact that you don't want to have an unwanted pregnancy, there are some certain sense that comes into you, and you try to tend to behave. But men, they have absolutely nothing to show for, except the ones, because I know the difference between parents that are aware and parents that are not aware. So most times, children of parents that are not aware suffer a lot, that have no information. But you that is reasonable, you know, well-traveled, it will not stop you anything to come to your community. Don't judge these children based on what their parents have done or who their parents have become. Judge them based on what you think that they will do well and do right. The first time I stepped my foot in America, the only cry I cried was the fact that I have people, I have relatives that have traveled far and wide, and nobody ever came home and said, please take this exam. It could help you get a scholarship. It was a big blow on my head. Like, I never asked for money or anything, but nobody could mentor you and say, what do you want to read in school? Are you in school? What are you even reading? Knowing fully well that your brother is late, and these children don't have a father again. Even to those that have father, do they even know? And nobody said that. And I saw opportunities all over the place expiring. And we have our own children that is supposed to value and get that opportunities. But nobody mentored. Nobody said anything. And this is still happening now. And that was why I made that prayer in US. So, in conclusion, I would simply say, fathers, stand up. Mothers are already doing something. But they need your support. They need your help more to make the community fine. Then professionally, let me say something. We have the greatest engineers. We have the greatest doctors. We have the greatest this and that. Ask yourself, if you retire, who have you mentored? Who can beat their chest and say, you inspired me? Who can say, you are the one that made me who I am? Ask yourself, those things you know, did you tell them? Did you step it down? You can simply start with going to secondary school and talk to those boys. I know the power of mentorship. Just because they listen to you can take away 2 great people from prison. Just because you talked. You did not use your money. Just because you stood there and they looked at you and said, I want to be like this man. How many children want to be like you? Open on Weibo stand on a television. and go all over the world. No. Okuna, see schools all over the place. Enter there and tell them who you are. And that is why I said we need to have carnival for our children on career, so that our children will see our father. See, your father is a doctor. He's there. They come into sections like workshop. We can start it. Come into sections. They leave this section, move to another section. The only thing that will be in their mouth is about career, at least for 1 month. And they start having imagination. Because the power of imagination changes a child's life. Can you imagine when they start at that age to start thinking of what you have done and what they want to achieve? It is very simple, because most times we have problems, we don't have solution. This is part of the solution. Let us stand up, let us be mentors, let us be a guide for other children. Let us see that our impact are felt, our impacts are created when we are gone, even when we are alive, because we need to be celebrated. One other thing I want to say is this. Our Igbo professionals who have achieved a lot should also be celebrated, whether they are here or not. They should be celebrated so that our children will know that these people have done something. For those in diaspora, if you will ever listen or look at this video, please, if you are coming back, don't buy chocolate again. Please, buy tools, buy learning tools for children. Go to schools and donate those tools. And I'm telling you, if somebody abroad has bought tools and brought to my school, or even Okunana girls that I went, and I have experienced, I won't go to this conference and disgrace myself, asking them what is Lego. I would have had a knowledge, because my parents didn't buy such thing for me. I didn't even know it. I saw it as a building block, like, you know, you go to a friend's house, you see it, and you be admiring them, and you even be doing. So I didn't even know that it's related. Buy those things for them. If you think that you cannot communicate with these children, you come back from Christmas, tell your children to inspire them. Create a room for them. Let them come in. Your children, teach them. That simple effort can change a child's life. Believe me, that single effort made Nigeria happy. If our winning did not make Nigeria happy, at least for 1 hour, Nigeria was happy. At least for 1 hour. I don't know if I'm saying the truth. And for 1 month, we were trending on newspaper, every newspaper, we were trending, just because I took my 2 legs to the school and say, allow me, Biko. Can you imagine if you make it intentional to say that I am a doctor in the US, I can't come back home, I'm going to support this cause. Go to my alma mater and teach them for 1 month. You are creating impact. Can we create a community that can do this? Is this possible, I ask? Is this possible? Please, can we make an intentional effort to plead with everybody, you and I, accept this, Children's Carnival. And I also give myself, here I am, here we are, for those of us in the community of learning, send us. We will do the work. We will try to create impact. We will try to raise those generations. We are not going to leave this work alone for some people that doesn't understand. We have to continue preaching this effort. We have to see our youth and mentor them to greatness. Another one, please, since you will replace chocolate with teaching materials, let me remind you of another thing. Biko, bags of rice for Christmas, replace it with workshop, entrepreneurship workshop. Instead of buying, because my mother has been a widow for 20 years. I lost my father in SS2 while I was in Okunana Girls. Most times we go back for Christmas, we have enough bag of rice, and she will be wondering, that's her target. Because they won't give her money. They will bring rice. Convert this rice to school fees or to skills and give. they will not forget you. There is a lady I have been praying for, even if when I've not known her, that paid my school fees in this Enugu. And she went into her room and brought school fees and gave. For even as I'm giving her testimony, I'm also praying. I have never forgotten who she is. So make efforts, make efforts. Don't give money where it will be wasted. Just let us make a conscious effort. So again, in conclusion, we need to be intentional. There is no time. I hope there is time for us to digest this. But one of the things I want us to take away from here is that we are mentors. We can do great things. We can mentor each other. I am still in need of mentors, even while I am inspiring and mentoring each other. I am not able, just in case you have something that will benefit me and you say, no, she knows, I don't know everything. So for all that have gathered in this room, for all that will watch this video, it is high time we know that we are enough for ourselves. We are the one we are waiting for. There is no other person that do it for us. Finally, my prayer in California, when I got to this place, I sat down, I wanted to pray in the night. The girls have gone to bed. You know, we had like a 36-hour journey. The girls have gone to bed, and I looked at them, and I came to my room to pray. I wanted to pray, but I can't find words to pray because I was overwhelmed. I wasn't even sure we are in Silicon Valley. I was not too sure. So I can't pray, and I started lamenting and telling God. I said, who could have believed that is this girl from the street of Enugu that will go to the dustbin and pick clothes that people have removed or wanted to throw away? I'll wash it and make it my school uniform. I am here with these 5 children. God, why did you choose me? I was asking God, who could have believed this? That girl in Enugu that was taking granite to sell. A lot of things that reminded God. But I know it was a reality. And I said at that moment, I promised him, please, 5 is not enough. 5 is not enough. Use me to reach out to more. Direct my step and let me let other people know the importance of making that sacrifice. It is not enough to have it alone for your children. Please, giving is free. We have everything free, and we can do that. Let us give our children, other people's children. Let us be that button. Let us be the things that, let us be an inspiration for their soul for tomorrow. A lot can happen, a lot can be changed. It is the word Nkai should not be there again. Nkai is for Nkai, everybody. And we can transform the lives of our generation. With this, I want to thank everybody that has made this gathering a success. I want to thank especially the schools that accepted me. They are not here in Enugu, but these schools gave me hope. The very first day I carried my tools to their school, they said, you are welcome. Even after that, I received hundreds of rejection. Mount Olive School in Onitsha and Springfield Academy. They are the one that gave me hope to do this. And I want you to take the message to your school. Ask them, what are they doing now? Ask them what they are doing and what they are doing to lead these children to greatness. If they are not doing anything, we need to start making STEM to trend like BB Niger. Because that's the future for us. Thank you to all my friends and family. Thank you for the organizers of this program, Nana and I'm nervous, Nana and Okibo, that has been calling me. And this is a platform for us to learn that I am well on mother, and I am well on why, and I gauge one why where me putife. And for this, I want to announce that a woman just called me a few weeks ago and said, take this place. Use it to do what you want to do. A place in Oka. And I've been asking God, what will I do with it? I don't even know where to do. Ụmụ Igbo, anyị nwere ọlụ. Anyị nwere ọlụ. We need to start doing something for our people. Let it not stop with the listening or the words, but let's make a practicable action that will lead us to success. If you see what other communities are doing for themselves, they have one, they multiply it and give every. So you are one, you think you have many, they are 20. Can you beat that? We need to start living that life of purpose. We are the one we are waiting for, no other person. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Okay.